All right, we are live on all three stations. I feel like that's a thing a long time ago. All right, sweet. Modern technology. Always have a plan. Back when you guys heard that in class. All right. Well, welcome everybody to the, you can say annual now. So annual Bishop Venture Pitch Competition. This is a annual event that we do at the university. Okay, I got it. So this is my display screen, and this one doesn't show up. So sweet. All right. So anyways, welcome to the annual Venture Pitch Competition. This is the Bishop Venture Pitch Competition. This is run as part of the Business 425 class. So students are going through, this is an entrepreneurship class. They put together a plan and a business model, and that's what you'll be hearing tonight, so that they've been building all semester long. So this is their final. This is their final grade. It is worth 65% of their entire grade. So what happens here tonight counts and matters. And we've got judges that are scoring them. And then we've got, obviously, the community that has come out to support these guys. And these guys will understand with stuff, so they've been able to see me go through pitch competitions and things. And it's all about setting the stage, right? So this is why we don't do this in the classroom, because we're trying to give that experience beyond what the classroom is, right? So a real live look into the real world. This is what happens out in the real world. This is, happens every day. I did one yesterday in Tampa, Florida, so for the Army. So, and set up and gave a pitch to a panel. So that's hopefully what you guys will take away from this. As I told you, I feel this is a reflective class that I want to know 3 to 5 years, your guys' reflection back on this. Did it change your mindset? Did it help? I feel like that's one of the things that you guys will take away from here. It's not necessarily, you learn stuff on the fly and everything, but it's about that assembly that you can be like, wow, we really did kind of touch on all the different fundamentals of business, and I get a little bit more why, if I'm an accountant, why marketing cares so much about this, or why the accountant cares so much about how much I'm spending on marketing, all those types of things. So, all right, good. It's tracking here. So, as we said, the students were put onto teams. They did not select their teams. They were chosen. And so we put those together. Try to get, cross disciplines. A lot of people in the business 425 class are business majors. Prerequisites are, business classes. So that's typically what we see in there. But they've got backgrounds of all different interests, all different, some athletes, some non, different, studies that they like to do and everything. And get them into groups, and then they have to perform in groups all throughout the semester. So weekly milestones. We run this like an accelerator. So this is very much modeled after with big accelerators like Techstars or 500 startups or Y Combinator. That's what real companies go through and build out. I mean, Dropbox, Uber, some of the big companies that you guys know have gone through the same type of program. It's a lot more intense. If you thought this was intense, try going through one of those. But it's the same idea. It's the same modules. It forces you to think through the problem set. And we said we did it all semester. We might as well call this one Startup Weekend, because I know you guys were doing a lot of it this weekend. I always tell the students, don't wait till the last end. Do the modules along the way. And notoriously, it's, yeah, we got enough. He's not great. So a little easier than most going throughout, but hopefully, even just wrapping up and seeing that entire package and pitch deck that you guys put together, hopefully helps summarize a lot of it. Now imagine if you really put in the full effort all the way through what it could be. So, and that's what I think is exciting about Ohio Wesleyan, what we're looking at and what we're doing. I would love for this to be a fall and a spring class. So imagine if you guys built this in the fall and got all this, and then the spring semester was refining this, right? And practicing and adding to and scaling. And then a venture pitch competition at the end of the spring. So we'll see see how it goes, and that's what's exciting about it, is this program's only going to grow and get bigger. So we don't do textbooks, we don't do case studies. It is real live people coming in. And so this year, we had some amazing speakers come in. So this is a list of some of the people that came in. And if you put all this together, this is representing over $3 billion with a B dollars worth of market cap. So these are the heads of unicorns, as we call them. So billion-dollar companies. You have $3 billion companies up there that came in and talked. We had Ryan Stewman, so who is one of the top motivational guys. So Stewman, if you're watching, appreciate it. I tuned in from Hawaii for that one, so got up at 2:30 a.m., signed into an 8:30 a.m. Eastern class, and hosted a Zoom. He is everything that academia is not, right? But a great, flood of different information and wealth passed on through these guys. And as I told you guys, it's important to go and connect with these people. They're all entrepreneurs that have that rule of reciprocity, so that somebody has helped them out some way, somehow, and they have no way to repay it. And so all entrepreneurs that I know are paying to other people, and they're happy to give their time to help people, especially young people and students, because we were all there at one point. So, and cutting that learning curve, if you guys can do that, you'll be a world ahead. So, some amazing people. So thank you very much to all the people that contributed this semester, that took the time, either Zoom with us or came into class and shared their knowledge and shared their expertise and stories, really. Because I think you guys learn a lot better through stories than any one of them, whether it's me, whether it's other professors, or any of these people getting up and lecturing, right? So being able to share those life lessons is what truly makes this class special. So the judges this evening, so we have Mr. Biz, or Ken Wentworth, who is over in the Entrepreneurial Center. He is streamed and broadcast daily all over the world, and runs a business network, Cash Flow Guru. I'll let everybody kind of do their little bio and everything. But thank you very much, Ken, for being here. Megan Ellis with OU Connection, and the Delaware Entrepreneurial Center. So she's been instrumental in the entrepreneurship department, cross-pollination of entrepreneurship across campus, and only getting started for the new office. So excited to see what happens there. Jen, so with the city of Delaware. So she is the economic development coordinator, project manager. Okay. So she works. Sean Hughes, the office over at the city. So, and the Delaware city of Delaware is a partner in the entrepreneurial center that we have on campus, along with the county. So very thankful, for to get your eye and ears in this one, and be part of this experience. And then Ryan Rivers with Rivers Foundation is an entrepreneur himself, and also the matching sponsor for this, because we upped the ante this year. So we have $10,000 worth of prizes, prize money. So very grateful for the sponsorship, and just again building the program, building the things that are possible at Ohio Wesleyan on campus, and it's all there for you guys. So take it. So with that, if we want, actually, go back real quick. Just brief bio, quick for the audience and the live stream. Mics should be on.
I'm Brian Rivers, background in financial services, entrepreneur myself, started an insurance business, and family has a long history in financial services. I'm also a former elected official and very involved in economic development. For me, really, with entrepreneurship, I've been very fortunate to be able to help different communities through housing, development, technology, and for me as an entrepreneur, I can do all the things I love and help others improve the quality of life. Doesn't get any better than that.
Perfect.
Ken Wentworth, excuse me. Easy for me to say, put the pressure on me, something on the screen everywhere, and talk now. I'm a business strategist, fractional CFO, help business owners run their business more profitably, more efficiently. We've got a radio show we've been doing for almost over 6 years now. We've got a whole bunch of other things we go on, books and all that kind of stuff. But I'm very honored to be here for the second year, so 2 for 2. So glad to be here.
Perfect.
Hi guys, my name is Ben Boy. I'm with the, as Steve mentioned, I'm with the City of Delaware Economic Development Department. I work mainly with companies that are working within the city limit, who are looking to stay within the city, expand into a new facility, or adding labor or adding jobs to their facility. Prior to joining the City of Delaware, I worked for the last 10 years with the state of Ohio, as well with Cleveland State University, as running a lot of international projects for the state of Ohio. Mainly I work with small to medium-sized companies who are looking to sell their products internationally. So I led a lot of projects for helping small and medium-sized companies to sell overseas. Excited to be here.
Hi, everybody. I'm Megan Ellis. I'm class of 2005, so a bishop through and through. As Steve mentioned, I'm the executive director of OWU Connection, our signature experience. And I love seeing all of you students here because I want you to get it in your head that this is a big part of your OWU Connection experience. So you are doing it right now. For those of you who may be a little less familiar, it is our signature experience here that combines research, community service, cross-cultural experiences and travel with career. So this is something that all of our students take part in, and it's completely integrated into our curriculum. I was with the team as we started the Entrepreneurial Center and get to serve as the director right now. And so excited to see all of you and see the work that you're doing. Really excited to have some of our alumni here who did this just last year, and hope to invite all of you back next year so you can watch the next class do this. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. And just to note, so this one was a little bit different. I moved the class. I used to teach this at 2 p.m., which was a nice, like, you guys have been fed. You're kind of halfway through your day, very attentive, all that. And this year, I had to anchor it because of everything we got going on with my company. So I'm the CEO at Ecotech. We're doing some really cool things. We're headquartered out of the Entrepreneurial Center by design, so that we can help contribute to the ecosystem. Not, me just, teaching as a professor, but truly as a business owner and a high-growth startup, giving back to the ecosystem as much as possible, fueling innovation, fueling those things. Had to put it at an anchor, either the nighttime classes apparently are popular, and professors have it's like Lambeau Field getting a ticket or something to it, I guess. So I took the 8 a.m. slot, made all these guys come in the very first day at 8 a.m. I have 5 kids that I have to get off to school and help out and all that thing. So, they all showed up the first day. And then we said, okay, who wants to do 8:30? And the majority of the class voted for 8:30. So we started at 8:30. Still, I don't know whether it's the time. This one was a little bit, different with just the enthusiasm in the class and the speaking up. So they always, asking questions and things. There was a little bit less than previous years, but the intellect and all the, seeing your guys' stuff, it got better over the semester. And then the final presentations, I know a couple of us had some quote come to Jesus meetings type thing where it's like, hey, you might want to put some effort into this thing. And as you always do, so they surprised me with, the amount of knowledge and things that they can actually put together for never doing this. Nobody came into this class and said, hey, I want to be a high-growth startup CEO. That's the difference between this exercise and a true accelerator where people have been going through their business, they've already put together teams, they've met and done things. And, having you guys put together a better, best, and optimistic financials, so that is very robust. It's not an easy task. We used to take 2 weeks to do that, so Katie, they only had 1 week to do it, so you can imagine that, how that went over. So, this is a lift. This is a big thing. This is stuff that the top schools in the country do. This is stuff that graduate schools do. So to be able to, have this curriculum here is awesome. Being able to have the flexibility, that was one of my requirements when they asked me to teach, is I had to have the flexibility to be able to run it how, I wanted to learn and how I wanted to teach. And so it's been a blessing to be able to bring in amazing people. I'm a student right next to you guys when these people come in. I'm asking them questions and it's applying right with our business. And then, being able to provide value for you guys and that insight into true high-class companies. And then the bonus this year, you guys saw me traveling all over the world, the world, I guess, but all on the road, and it was a little bit more intense this semester than it was in the past. But what's really cool is you guys have seen that from our growth, from our side, and being able to tell those stories of what we're in the middle of right now. Multi-million-dollar company growing fast, rapidly, and just like we've heard from the speakers, the first time that we embark on something, it's the first time that we're doing it as a company, as a person. And so hopefully that resonates with you all, takes away some of the fear, takes away some of the things that show that you guys can truly capture the world. And it just takes action, just takes execution. So without further ado, Ryan, if you want to say anything about the foundation or anything,
Yeah, so for the Rivers Foundation, our goal is to help entrepreneurs and
it's up on my screen.
okay.
So I don't know.
No, to help folks like yourself here tonight. So we're very happy to be part of the event and be helpful to match the winners, the award to the winning folks here this evening.
All right, well,
Get some assistance for you.
yeah. Yeah. There we go. All right. Everything you just said. So,
Yeah, thanks.
but yeah, no, thank you very much for the partnership. So with this, then, matching what Ohio Wesleyan has put up for this, this is designed to grow. So the things that happen, and hopefully this continues, and we've got multiple pitch competitions. We've seen the different pitch OWU opportunities and stuff around campus, and this helps feed into that. And who knows? Sometime it might be somebody taking classes that doing it for credit plus winning prize money, as well as the non-business students competing against you. The business students remember the money. We'd love to see that. So, all right. So without further ado, we've got a very sophisticated way as a randomizer, so that will tell us our order. So I don't know the order. You guys don't know the order. So you guys will get called up here, and we will start with team number 2.
All right.
Oh, we got someone very focused over here. The handy AI. These guys know the struggles with this thing all semester. So don't talk with your hands. Sweet. Select my clicker. Yep. All right. So you got a mic there. You got a mic here. You guys passing that one? Yeah.
They need one.
You can keep it on here. Yeah. So just hit it on before you talk. It's on mute right now. Awesome. Clicker. This is the one that advances it. And you guys have the floor.
All right, thank you, everyone. Let's face it, college students have other priorities. Students and their parents have to grapple the task of moving out of college each year. For out-of-state students, this problem is exasperating, especially if you have to get on a plane. Each year, universities spend thousands of dollars in dumpsters and unexpected trash collection fees from students having more stuff than they can take home. That IKEA table you built in August is not going to be disassembled, as it is easier to toss in the dumpster. That big bulky rug has no space in the carry-on to the trash it goes. This is not only wasteful and non-environmentally friendly, it's expensive for the student and the family to buy new items every year. Move out also coincides with the most stressful time for students, finals. The last thing we are worrying about is how we are moving out. So Campus Genie was born to help students store and transport their belongings to safe storage units and then return the items to them in their new dorms when classes restart in the fall.
So at Campus Genie, our slogan is let students be students. And our goal is to shove the distractions and the stresses of moving into the lane. So let students focus on what matters and not really worry about the rest. We believe no one can provide the quality and care that Campus Genie provides.
For our solution, Campus Genie is an all-encompassing move-out platform relying on local business partners such as storage and moving companies, while not forgetting about partnering with universities for dorm room access and providing the services to students and families. We will make it easier for students to move out. All they have to do is pack up their room and provide their current and future housing locations using our software at the universities. Moving and storage companies will work in perfect synergy to safely transport student items to and from their dorm rooms.
We strive to make this process as simple as counting to 3 for students and families. Students will have the opportunity to opt into the program. Using our website, students select from our 3 packages and add items if necessary. Once they're confirmed, a packet with boxes and barcodes will be given to the student. All that is left for the students to do is pack up their belongings, add barcodes to their boxes, and once all the students have departed for summer break, our local moving partner will come in and relocate students' items to the storage units. Once the items are delivered, a photo will be sent as proof of drop-off to the individuals. Once summer break ends, the same process happens in reverse, with all the items ready to be unpacked by the student in their new room before they arrive.
We decided to launch Campus Genie in a test market of the Ohio 5. The Ohio 5 comprises private schools with high on-campus residential light population. Those schools are Ohio Wesleyan, Denison, Kenyon, Otterbein, and Worcester. The population of these 5 schools totals 10,000 college students. The average out-of-state student population between the 5 schools is 70%. We expect 60% of the 10,000 students to opt into our services, leaving us with 6,000 starting users. Over the next 5 years, we plan to scale to 500 partner universities, targeting schools with greater than 75% on-campus residential population.
Our business model is simple. We want to offer 3 packages, starting with the $100 for a standard package, which gives students 1 box, a standard 18 by 18, 24 box, with a fridge or microwave. Our $150 package, which is the deluxe, which provides 3 boxes, storing for a fridge and a microwave, and 1 furniture miscellaneous item. Then our final package, the premium package of $200, which provides 5 boxes, a fridge and a microwave, and 3 furniture or miscellaneous large items. Add-ons include $10 per additional box, $25 per additional furniture miscellaneous item, $15 for a TV, and $15 for a fridge. These are one-time fees for the entire package. In the Ohio 5, we will expect a margin of 66%. Our cost of goods sold per package is $41. That includes just the moving and storage cost. We assume a package selection rate by the students of 20% of the 6,000 students would choose the standard, 50% would choose the deluxe, 30% the premium. Our net profits per package are $59 for the standard, $109 for the deluxe, $159 for the premium. For universities of less than and equal to 5,000 students, our average total income is $130,000. The average cost of moving is $27,000. That cost is doubled for, this cost represents moving out and moving in. and the average storage cost is $36,000. For the storage units, we are looking to get large storage units to place all the students' items in as few as possible. So we're looking at 40 by 15 size storage units. And then our average total cost of goods sold per university is $63,000 with the average revenue at $80,000. And scaled up, our margin is 28%. Our sales revenue over the next 5 years, we project through the Ohio 5 at $928,000. At 25 universities in year 2, $2 million. At 100 universities in year 3, $8 million. At 250 universities in year 4, $20 million. And at 500 universities in year 5, $40 million.
Through market research, we determined 2 direct competitors in dorm room movers as well as college boxes, which is powered by U-Haul. In addition, we have found indirect competitors in storage and moving companies. As we form partnerships with companies such as these, our once indirect competitors will turn into business partners. We have determined our biggest competitor to be dorm room movers, as college boxes has shipping focus instead of storage-based solutions. We found dorm room movers to be our true competitor, but through performing a SWOT analysis, as other market researchers techniques, we have discovered room for Campus Genie to have a rapid entry to this market. Dorm room movers is significantly more expensive, charging a monthly fee per item based on size. As summer break lasts around 4 months, one large item such as a TV or chair will already start at $120. Dorm movers owns and operates their own series of warehouses, leading to these extra fees, as for most of the year the service is not used. Dorm room movers' school portfolio is limited to a large school which have low university managed housing rates.
Campus Genie is best set for rapid entry to this market. All our packages are flat fee one-time payments. If students have more items than our packages provide, we have additional charges to help out. Not only are we good for your pockets, though, but we'll be great for the local economy. Campus Genie will provide the platform and set up contract with local storage and moving companies. But following this strategy, we will have no high property, plant, and equipment overhead, as we won't own or operate warehouses. We want to support small and medium-sized schools with a high campus residential population, with the majority of out-of-state and international population students.
We also want to following our model of let students be students, we plan to scale to be an all-in-one hub for students' campus experience. We want to eventually be able to provide a service for short distance transportation, personal shopping, large package delivery, and more. This will be a service that helps students, so their voice will be key in what features are added into this venture. Campus Genie is making an initial seed request of $600,000. This investment will allow us to develop a minimal viable product ready for launch for this year's event. Furthermore, this investment will support our operating expenses, allowing us to finance our contracts with local moving and storage companies. Additionally, we need the support for growth and development. We have a goal for rapid expansion over the next 5 years, and this seed request will cover our next 18 months of operations, allowing us to further develop our software and scaling ventures.
Campus Genie will have multiple outreach on investment exit opportunities, starting with a possible large acquisition from a large moving company who has a small door moving program and is looking to add more revenue with our technology. There is a path of acquisition from companies and logistics as well, looking to expand into a college market through our more than moving venture. Finally, we see a path in acquisition from Chegg, who is already a top company in the education sphere that may be looking for different revenue streams through separate other than textbooks.
And this is our team. We want to thank our advisors, Steve and Brandon, for their support through this process. And now we will take any questions you may have. Thank you. To start, we want to focus on on-campus housing and partnering with universities. So that leads to our goal of universities with a high residential population. OWU is, I believe, is about 98%, and that's very similar to the rest of the Ohio 5 in our target schools.
You mentioned that your company would look to partner with local moving companies. Have you guys reached out to them for your cost comparison versus what you guys would be charging with your packages?
So we originally started in that path to figure out how much it would cost for us to develop our own moving service. And we found that if we were to partner with companies that would already have trucks and services, we were able to contact and reach out to find an average rate where we got the $27,000 number, which would be half of that would be for moving out and half of that moving in. We developed an algorithm to determine how many hours of moving it would take per school. So for OWU being the smallest school out of the Ohio 5, we determined it would take about I think 16 hours of moving time, and that would be moving at 48 students per hour with 12 movers.
So is that the same type of method that you used for calculating an average of if you were storing it offsite? I like that it's not your own places because it makes sense to not get into that business. But is that also how you calculated those numbers and whatnot?
Yep.
For storage, yeah, so we pretty much went along the same lines. We called a few storage places and figured out how much each room would be, or each storage facility would be.
That's great. So not really a question, but just as I was listening, I was thinking that this might be something that universities would get really excited about to be able to offer to their students.
Yeah.
So that could be another partnership for y'all that if, instead of the student or their family paying like $150 or so, that could just be worked right into fees.
Yeah, that's part of our model is to partner with universities directly, and either through a service like that where students would have the ability to opt in, or using universities to send out to parents or post in Facebook groups, because students won't really likely respond to the email, but parents would be the ones. I know my mom calls me, how are you getting your stuff home to New York? And then it's a last scramble. But we also created an algorithm to figure out how much square foot each package would take up. And that led to our calculations of that.
So I can tell you, excuse me, as a father of a daughter who's going to college right now, take my money. I will pay you like 4 or 5 times what you guys have up there. So it's leading to a great problem. How did you come up with your margins? How did you come up with your pricing strategy? Because honestly, as I looked at what you guys have for pricing, I thought, this is way too cheap.
Yeah.
But I would pay a ton more, I believe. So I will look you guys up in the fall.
We looked into that, looking at if a student was to buy their own storage unit, that would be probably around the 5 by 10 storage spot, and that would average out, depending on where in Delaware you would go, it would rate around for the total of 4 months between like $150 and $200. So we wanted to make it similar to that, and also be able to have an entry to the market versus dorm removers, who has a similar company, but they are definitely more expensive with their per month per item.
Yeah, I would tell you, one of the things that you guys will, I'm sure, saw some of your research, people pay for convenience. And this is hitting the easy button. So as a parent, to be able to hit that easy button, so not just the storage fees, forget that part, is I don't have this, let's say, so my daughter goes to University of Kentucky, so it's 3.5 hour trip. It's not that big a deal, but if she went to Berkeley, and I had to go to California to move her out, or get our stuff, I would rent a truck to get to the storage unit, let alone renting it, and I go back in the fall, and go all back in. I would say you guys probably look to have even bigger margins, wider margins, and charge more. I know I would be a customer, like I said, so I'll raise the prices.
Can always go down. It's hard to go up once you've set.
Another quick question for you. how did you guys decide on your goals here? Does this come out of experience, what you're interested in? How did you decide those?
Yes and no. We had Zach, honestly, he was the brain behind all this. You know, he really put it all together. But Antonio, he currently runs a Twitch and YouTube program, so he kind of has a developer background. Dom's really great with sales and marketing, and I personally enjoy, putting pieces together.
Yeah.
Logistic wise.
That's good.
You know.
Those are smart roles then for you. That's good.
Anyone else?
Good.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Great.
All right, so judges, take a couple minutes there and mark down numbers and score that team, and we'll get the next presentation ready. This way. This is the bumper. That's a deal. Zoom out. Speaking of should be watching. All right, we are up with our next team. So, team number 4. So we got this mutes. Mutes.
A lot of eyes out there. First of all, I just want to say I'm super proud of everybody in the class. And honestly, it's so inspiring to see hearing about everybody's ideas, all my friends' ideas, dare I say friends' ideas, is really just cool to see everyone's business process. For my name, I have Miles, I'm Danica, it's Carl, I'm programming engineering, it's Kevin, and we are drone kids. Now, Carl here works a lot with drones. He's a geography major, does a lot of surveying. That's where we got our initial idea. Is originally we wanted to do somewhere along the lines of drone surveying, providing some service. That's where we ran into our first problem. The drone market is a rapidly growing market, and it lacks a connection between pilots and customers. The drone market is an ever-growing market and is expected to grow 50% in the next 5 years, with a total worth $50 billion by 2030. As of 2021, there are close to 250,000 FAA licensed drone pilots and close to 1 million drones registered with the FAA. As this market grows, we saw an opportunity to connect these pilots' personal lives with money-making opportunities. Our solution to this opportunity is to provide a centralized hub for freelance drone hunters and hobbyists to connect with customers to assist them in providing a desired service in a modern, fresh manner. We provide services for land surveying, home walkthroughs, and whatever cinematography needs the customer desires. Using our sustainable business practices, we provide an exemplary and easy-to-use hub where customers can use our job request feature to request a job, and then are easily communicate with them through our on-platform message board. Drone piloting requires lots of training, and acquiring a drone is fairly expensive. Using our platforms, we can forego these difficulties by allowing the customers to connect with a licensed hobbyist, and it means to fulfill their desired request, whilst providing a pilot that needs to do what he loves in a competitive market while also being paid.
Here we have two sides of our business. There's a customer side and a pilot side. Right here we have the customer project request, where the customer is going to give his contact information and then his job description, so what he wants done on either his house or the property, say a survey. And then the pilot registration, they will give their contact information, their FAA pilot license PDF, and the description of their skills and their preferred flight plans. So our revenue streams will come from, one of them will be from the pilots. They have two plans to choose from, either being $700 or $1,000. And then we will also charge a 10% transaction charge for all the pilots and their time that is spent flying their drones. And then there are 3 levels of video services for the customers. And the first one is free, and the next 2 are actually push the 150% margins. And so actually the highest video service pushes 200%. And for the margins on the transaction charts, we'll actually get $0.0065 a square foot. So our 3-year projections, so we look to get around 7,500 pilots of Drone Connect, and that's just under 2% of the FAA licensed pilot community. And just from the annual pilot fees, we'll get $7.5 million. If each of these pilots performs 100 flights in a year, it would come out to around 2 billion square feet. And based on our transaction charge, it'll be about $13 million. And then there will be 750,000 videos produced from the pilots. And we look to edit and enhance 400,000 videos, which will be about $100 million. And then for our costs, our 2 main costs will be the new hire salaries that we have, and then the video edits, which is just under $40 million. So we'll hopefully push a little under $80 million in the 3rd year.
So we have our pricing packages. We believe these pricing packages will satisfy each customer level, from minimal people who are just looking for jobs to homeowners who are eager to sell their houses quick. So we start with our free flight plan. We have a flight. Drone Connect requires a video and send it directly to the customer, so that's free. And then in addition to our flight plan, we have 2 other customer plans, including the video plan and the full plan. Our video plan is $150. The The full plan is $250. Both those plans include everything that comes in the fly plan, but we add an hour or 2 hours of video editing and enhancing, depending on which one the customer chooses. And for our pilot plans, we decided to do a subscription service because we feel that they would be more enticed to pay for that over a period of time. So for the Connect plan, it is $700 a year, which equates to about $58 monthly. So we have a cap of 200 flights per year, plus later access to flight tutorials, and then the Connect Plus plan, and it's $1,000 a year, which equates to about $83 monthly. There's no cap in that. So it gives pilots kind of full access to flight tutorials and other things that can kind of push further along the business relationship and transactions later. And that can definitely help our financial projections as we get into the next slide. So.
Here we have the markets. Our first two initial markets will be real estate and land surveying. The real estate market is worth $3.81 trillion, and it's actually said that houses with drone footage sell around 68% faster than houses without drone footage. So that is going to be huge in turnover time in houses and keeping your costs down when the house is on the market, having to pay all of the extra fees by keeping it on the market. And then we're expected to see, or in the last 2 years, we're expected a $13 billion land survey market, so like a $3 billion growth in the last 2 years. And then our potential markets, we have an agricultural market, and honestly, the uses are endless, from planting seeds, spray care, and that market is worth $15.8 billion. And then the construction market is worth around $2 trillion. There's a commercial and a smaller business use. And then we can also get into later down the line delivery services. And then there's also always use for emergency services and natural disaster aid, helping survey the land, see how much damage was done through natural disasters, or just simply looking for a person with some thermal camera improvements.
So here's our 3-year revenue forecast. The growth that you see is driven primarily by a soaring demand for licensed drone pilots and the rapid growth of the overall drone industry, which is expected to reach $10 billion by 2025. We believe that we can capture 1% of this market by 2025 as our platform launches and the company matures. We also plan to add more revenue streams in the future, like drone photography and videography tutorials for our subscribers. And we also plan on adding advertisements to our website. So through our research, we found that there is one direct competitor called Drone One Source that is trying to build a similar platform that connects pilots directly to customers. However, it is a very young company as well, and their website is solid, but they only have one pilot that's currently in their network. And we believe that with the proper funding, we can launch our platform faster and at a much greater scale. And we see DroneBase as more of a potential partner rather than a competitor. Their primary business is data collection and management rather than matching pilots to customers. And they built up a network of over 80,000 professional drone pilots across 70 different countries. So we think that we can provide them with data from our pilots, and they can help us build up our network. So our team, while all of us are relatively young, we each have a unique background and set of experiences that will help us build our business. Mika has a marketing background, Carl can provide the technical drone expertise, and Miles has sales experience, and I've held a number of finance and investment jobs. So we also, in order to launch and grow our business, we understand that we have to make some key hires, and our top priority hires will be more technical in nature to build and manage the Drone Connect website. For example, software engineers and web monitors and web developers. And this would be followed by recruiters and functional support like finance and HR.
All right, so for our exit strategy, we have two basically exit strategies that we kind of focus on. So we aim to be acquired by a big tech company because we feel like we can kind of enter the entire market, the housing market, the construction market potentially through that. drone-based potential candidate, like we said. And we also feel like being acquired or partnering with real estate companies such as Zillow, which you see there, can allow us to still engage in the smaller market and definitely help us to upgrade our financial goals and reach those. So yeah.
So we are looking to raise $10 million in 4 stages. So initially, us 4 would each put up $15,000 for the construction of the website, which brings us to $60,000 in stage 2, 1 month after the website construction. With showing evidence of the community build and community growth, we are looking for $740,000. And this is to hire first-year employees, as Kevin just explained. And then stage 3, 2 months after stage 2, we're showing growth in the team after we've hired a couple of these people. We are looking for $2.2 million to look for office space, purchase team editing, and software and hardware, sorry. And then stage 4 is 3 months after stage 3, showing rapid growth in Drone Connect community with financial records to show. And $7 million, we're asking for $7 million to purchase an office space and build an editing center for the editing team. And then we're just trying to use this money to make key hires in software engineering, video editing, and marketing and advertising sections of our company. Thank you.
All right, questions?
On the technology side, as far as connectivity, are you dependent on any other networks, like location?
I would say there's no real location for, we are going to have our central hub and our central company area, but any drone pilot can be anywhere in the world, and they can be commissioned out by a customer looking for a job in their area, and they can go out and still use our company Drone Connect to get connected with the customer in their area, because they might not find that customer if they do not have access to our website.
And then how far off for delivery do you think that is that?
Oh, deliveries. Honestly, I have seen a couple of studies being done that their drones are starting to be used in the delivery services, but I don't think that there's a reasonable time to put on it, a really set in stone time. I would definitely say in the next 15 or 20 years, we're going to have a huge increase in drone delivery systems, for sure.
Your team mentioned that you guys have one competitor that you're aware of right now on the market. Can you tell me how you would differentiate your business from that company?
So one of the ways is their whole business model is basically just matching customers. I think one of the ways we can really find a niche in this market is by rolling out products like the tutorials and stuff. So we have, I think one of the things we forgot to mention is having this message board for pilots to kind of exchange ideas and talk to each other. And then this photography and videography tutorials can be a cool way for subscribing pilots to kind of see what they need to do to sell their products and stuff like that. I think that's one of the ways that we can differentiate from others.
So you mentioned during the presentation that you want to get to the point where you think you can have about 2% of the pilots. You also mentioned that DroneBase, another new company as well, they only have 1 pilot right now. So my question is, have you guys started to look at what are some ways to attract these pilots? Because it seems like, again, I'm not sure how long DroneBase is in business, but they only have 1. And how are you going to capture 2% of the market is my question. How will you recruit those pilots and give them an incentive? Not only come, some she mentioned, but coming with you guys as opposed to the competitor.
I'd probably say that most of these FAA licensed drone pilots are hobbyists themselves, and they're really not looking to make a lot of money in flying drones. Say they have a corporate job or they're sitting in front of the desk all day. We could be the way for them to make more money without sitting in front of the desk all day and really get them out in the open and be able to do what they love to do, is fly drones. And if they're able to make money doing what they love, I mean, why wouldn't you why wouldn't you not do it? Like, why wouldn't you make money flying a drone?
So I'm also curious on your fly plan you mentioned it's free. What was your sort of thought process of offering a free service?
So we didn't want to deter the customers at all from the company. We were going to bring the pilots in because we are giving them jobs, we are generating revenue for them, but we didn't want to push away any of the customers. So if they have another video editor or whatever it is, we can take our data, we'll just pass through the business and send it straight to the customer. But then if they don't have that expertise or somebody else to edit the video for them, we offer the 2 other services to edit the videos for them.
Looking at the flip side of that for the user, the different packages, and you had your 1 hour versus editing and the 2 hour editing. I'm curious, just because I really don't know enough about drones to know this. When you think about a project, what type of project or how would a user know, oh, this is a 1 hour editing job versus a 2 hour editing job? Would that be something where you targeted realtors, where that's kind of their thing, or how do you determine the need for that?
I mean, that's a good question.
And maybe there's not a good answer right now, but that might be something to think about where if I was going to be a user, like I was going to buy into this, I would need to know, because I know I would look at it and say, well, I don't know, so maybe as you're thinking through that to really identify the scope of if this is what you're looking for, I recommend this, something along those lines, to be able to help your users, because again, the least barriers or the least questions that a user has, the more likely they're going to be to jump on board.
All right. All right. Good job. Like somebody else. Good. It's like a menu. You're done with order, deciding. Turn it over so the waiter comes over. All right. Next team up is team number 3. So it's on mute right now. That unmutes it. Mute.
Yeah. This is working. Is there a second?
No.
All right.
Okay. So when I was in high school, I was a tour guide for my school. It means I walk around with parents and students, try to sell them on the school. This is why I love being a student here. One of those days, a parent asked me, said, "Why are there no children in the classrooms?" I didn't notice this on my tour. Confusing to me, obviously. I get throughout the tour and a teacher pulls me into the classroom and she says, "We're under lockdown. There's a security threat. I don't know if somebody pushed a button. I don't know if somebody's on campus, but obviously scary situation." I was able to walk throughout the school. I went down the kindergarten hallway, back through the middle school hallway, up the high school hallway. There was nothing stopping me from getting to any of those places. This begged the question to me, why was I able to get from point A to point B? It shouldn't be. When thinking about that, I thought broader a little bit. There's workplace violence going on. There's a larger market. Everybody goes to work every day for the most part. Can we put this in a workplace? Is there a physical barrier that can stop somebody from getting to point A to point B? So that's the problem that we set out to solve with this product.
So at our company, GDOC Security Doors, we really provided a mission of creating quality products that will produce not only a barrier between your greatest assets, but also immediate threats. And when thinking of this company, we kind of thought of 3 problems that our products could solve. And the first one is increased safety. We realized and kind of researched and looked into that 1 out of 7 Americans don't feel safe at work. As adults, we're at work a lot. We spend a lot of time at work. And if you don't feel safe there, you're not going to be able to produce the output that you want to at work. And as an owner or a manager, you want that from your employees. That's why you hired them, because they have great minds and you want them to produce for you. But if you don't feel safe somewhere, you're not going to be able to produce everything that you're wanting to produce 24/7. You're just not able to do it.
So the second thing is that we want to provide greater control to managers, security staff, CEOs for their company, and providing that security. Whether it's a glass door at the front of a company that can be kicked and broken to get inside with a small puny lock, or your company does have a security door, but it's big and bulky and hard to move. We want to solve that problem by making it efficient and provide that greater control. And then finally, we just want to make security simple for people. This is why our product is going to be set up with an automated ID swipe. So you walk up, scan your ID, and the door opens for you. Looking at our solutions. Our first solution is for a standard door. This product is going to come out in year 1. It is a roll-up garage door system that would go over a doorway. It specifically has 2 purposes. Visibility is number 1. So you close your door for the business for the night, nobody can see in now. There's visibility, there's doors there. And second, you want to be able to give authorization to only the people who need authorization into that space. So that's our first product. Second, we want to take on the larger spaces. This would come in year 3. So it's more of a hallway size door that's rolled up. This is going to take, if you have a threat in hallway 1, this allows you to push a button. 2 and 3 are closed. Takes them completely out of the picture, makes it easier for law enforcement, first responders to get on scene and know where your issue is or is not. And then finally, in the future, we want to go to AI monitored door systems. Facial recognition is really big right now as AI technology steps up their game. Obviously not this little camera stick, but that's what we want to move towards in the future. So we want to combine that new age technology with our pre-existing technology that we will have with our doors. And that's going to be a big kick up year 5 with the new product launch with that technology.
So we are targeting
one of the largest growing global markets, security, something that can be used in pretty much every other industry. Our development and research teams are hoping to lead the home, business, possibly even school security markets with newer and newer products, starting with GDoc doors. We're located, as being in Ohio, next to some of the largest U.S. steel manufacturers, to make our supply chain very efficient, just like the security that our doors are offering.
So taking a look at the market, we're looking to enter the commercial security market. And today the U.S. Commercial security market is worth around $105 billion. And our product focuses on the surveillance and access control segments of the market. And as you can see here on the left is 2019, and on the right are projections for 2027. For both years, access control systems and surveillance systems make up just under 75% of the total market. And looking at the future, the U.S. commercial security market is projected to reach $146 billion by 2026, growing at a compound annual growth rate of 8.2%. And as we expand in the future, down the road, going to the global commercial market, it's expected to reach $433 billion in 2027, growing at a compound annual growth rate of 10.21%.
So geographically, Ohio, along with Indiana and Pennsylvania, sit in the middle of like the largest manufacturers of steel in the United States. Because GDoc is situated right here in central Ohio, right in the heart of like the industry. So we're able to work with steel manufacturing companies to get the material we need for our products. Because like also being large industry, as well as it continually growing, it also attracts investors, which we give us a better chance of receiving angel investment funds.
So our 5-year financial projections. So let's split it up over 5 years. Again, first year bringing in the standard door, third year bringing in the hallway size door, and year 5 is reaching for that AI technology with our security door. So at the top, active units, those are the active units that are sold this year. So those are your projections, adding different units together. And then our revenue and gross profit rise from year 1 to year 5 pretty exponentially. And at year 5, I want to stress that year 5 with funding is when we are going to start to turn that profit margin. Which is important. There's, with manufacturing costs, with getting the product to people, installation, prototyping, getting all the technology is going to take 5 years. So I want to stress that. And that head count at the bottom just gives an idea of how many people are going to be at the company each year.
Our current local competition is called Smart Digital. They work in building access controls, much like we do, gated parking lots, fire, emergency alarm systems, and business monitoring systems. One of the more common competitions that you see in the home market is Simply Safe and Ring. Pretty well known. They offer your standard video monitoring along with some emergency contact services. The GDoc advantage is that we're going to take all of these currently offered utilities and then combine it with our GDoc door.
So taking a look at our partners on both the commercial and consulting side, Worthington Industries and Corrugated Metals will be our 2 critical manufacturing partners. Corrugated Metals will be providing the finished metal panels that you'll see on the front of the doors, while Worthington will supply the rest of the steel for the smaller parts and components. Exclude down here, you see RAD Pest Defense. They actually create seals for the bottoms of doors that control rodents and pests from getting underneath. And so we hope to work with them to create a seal for the perimeter of the door. And then ADT, we're hoping to integrate our products into their product line, and so that they're compatible with their products. And doing so, we're taking advantage of their huge market reach and their established reputation.
And for our consulting partners, we're working with the National Security Consulting Corporation and Security Risk Management Consultants. For the NSC, they will consult with like a physical product line of our security doors and like a hallway walls. They are do currently primarily do for office buildings and businesses, but they're working on also can consult for other like industries such as like for hospitals and schools, which we would hope to expand into. And for SRMC, they also do like a physical product line for businesses, but they can also consult for like stuff that isn't physical, such as like cybersecurity or development training for managers.
And finally, the exit opportunity. So we hope that the structure in our business model, that our technology and our physical barriers are wrapped around, end up to a good market stance so that it offers future partners potential growth in their businesses. So partners like Brinks, EDT we've already mentioned, and Smart Digital is a local company that could be competition, but it could also be a future partner for sure. So that's the end of the summary. Any questions?
I have maybe two follow-up questions. The first one would be, what is your price points against your current competitors right now?
Very good. So the pricing is going to be a little more than competitors because they're not offering access control technology. Your basic door is going to be cheaper to manufacture than a garage door. But our standard door cost is going to be $11.90, and then the price of the cost per $11.90 is the cost per unit, and then $1,666 is the price. And then the larger door is obviously more expensive, builds more space. But out of the bar, it's going to be more expensive because companies that are just offering access gates are not working with the garage door technology. Nobody has done that so far. So we're bringing those two things together, but that comes with cost. And then we're really just shooting for 1% of the U.S. commercial security market, and that's $1.05 billion. That's just 1%. There's a lot of room to grow there. And then this is based on two assumptions. It's assuming that when we manufacture, both our location for materials and the more we make, the more we buy from somebody like Worthington Industries. We're going to get package deals on quantities for the amount of steel, door seals, that sort of thing, and that people will choose to go to physical barriers. There has to be a point where people say, you know, enough is enough. This camera doesn't stop somebody from hurting somebody. So that's what we're looking to find.
So I think my follow-up question here is, you mentioned that you're shooting for the 1% of the U.S. commercial security market, but I would like to hear what types of businesses are you actually targeting? What size of business that's going to be able to afford this, and that you would like to target?
Yeah, so the thought of growth, the big one in Central Ohio that's been a name now is Intel coming to town, right? So big opportunity for growth there, but it's a large business with a lot of people. A lot of people, as we stated before, people are the assets. So we're hoping to get into a bigger company when we make one tiny step. That'll expand when you add a second factory, a third factory, fourth factory, fifth factory. But this product really started with thinking about schools. So that's definitely a future step that we would want to take. The issue is step one is not at schools because the funding is not there in the market right now. School grants are difficult to get, and it's just not a market to start in, which we learned. Thank you, Steve. But hospitals, banks, small businesses. I mean, from personal experience, Megan helped me get a connection at Delaware Police Department, and I went to a call 2 weeks ago where the Marathon gas station down the street had the door kicked in, and some guy ran out with a bag full of cigarettes and stuff trying to get it. That wouldn't have happened if that glass wasn't a factory. You know, if it was a stronger door, he wouldn't have been able to break it and wouldn't have gotten in.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
So I love the idea around isolation, right? So I love the idea, especially in the school situation, the scenario the picture you painted, I think is perfect and would help first responders as well as keep a lot of people safe. One thing I did hear about was, I'd like to hear more about is the door. So you mentioned steel, you mentioned, garage door. I'm picturing my garage door. I can kick my garage door in. I'm sure that's what you're talking about, but let's say I'm a gunman. Yeah. And I have an AR-15 and I have tons of, can I shoot through the door? What's the actual barrier for that?
Yeah, so the big question when creating the technology was, can you make it bulletproof? Can you make it fireproof? Well, we've established that the costs are already high. These are new technology. That's going to be another step, whether it's Kevlar, whether it's a thicker steel. That's going to make the doors heavier. We need more components, that sort of thing. Speaking from experience at ranges and that sort of thing, people are taught that if you can't see it, you can't shoot it. That's important here. If you do get to a space where there's something in front of you and you can't see students behind it, you already lessen the chances of mentally being able to take that shot and visually being able to see where people are. So that was definitely an important factor. The steel is definitely going to be stronger than your ordinary garage door. It's more of an industrial steel, stuff that they maybe have on loading bays for a commercial company, that sort of thing. But as far as that, just remote, it's going to have remote and manual operation. Power goes out, you're still going to have a manual option. Obviously, that's not preferred in a threat situation. You want to be able to hit the button and go. But yeah, thank you very much.
I would say at the current level we have it at, some bullets will probably get through it, but for a person to get through it, it's going to take 30, 40 bullets, properly placed, and then kicking it down.
Which is time.
Yeah, and like you said, hopefully we will eventually be able to do something with the chemical harness.
Any other questions?
So, typical retail, you mentioned gas station, what would kind of a ballpark range need to be for, say, just a standard project?
You mean how many units somebody would buy?
Yeah, like what the typical business owner, retail shop, like say gas station, what do you think standard project, like average project, just ballpark kind of figure what a business owner would be looking at?
I mean, I think each business would probably look at least, everybody has a front door, and that's the first place people are going to get in. So that front door is, at least with installation, probably going to be around $3,500 when you add labor costs and installation into that. But the hope is that it doesn't just stop at one door, that it can go further. But we want to get one door in so that we can get 10 doors in. That's the goal. And having a smaller company would be great, like somewhere in Delaware. But again, getting something like Intel, where we can have 200 of the standard door units and 500 hallway doors. I'm making up these numbers, but Intel's going to be big. And yeah, malls, security, community centers. Multiplying the figure by the amount of doors. Any other questions?
So maybe not a question, but maybe something for you guys to think about down the line would be, based on the quality of your product, what is the replacement cost, or what is the lifetime replacement of this particular product? Because then you need to build that into your sales cycle as well. Because if your product, let's say, lasts 10 years, okay, that means you sell to this one business, unless you're expecting that business to be attacked within that 10 years, you're probably not going to get the business again for another 10 years. So that's something to think about down the line.
Yeah, for sure. In a lot of ways, it is a physical product, but it's selling mental clarity and knowing that it's there. And that's going to be important in some places more than others. Certainly a business that has had a minute amount of businesses that had workplace threats and that sort of thing are going to be interested right away, and it's going to take convincing.
Or maybe talking to insurance companies to work out a deal where businesses would get a discount on their insurance for the year if they use your products and stuff like that.
And you also have to think with our product line, we're introducing new products every so many years. So if we get one company with just our door in year one, and then by year 3, they could love our product and want hallway doors. And so we could just keep expanding like that with our products as well.
All right. All right, we are ready for our last team. So, you pick. You guys are up.
Hello, everyone. My name is Austin Womack.
I'm Joey Russo.
I'm Zach Smith. JJ Maxwell. And our company is called You Pick.
Now, I want to start off with a little story about a strapping young lad by the name of Joe Randall. He is a college student and he loves real estate. And so he was interested about getting a real estate course on campus. But obviously, Joe's not going to be the only student in that class. So he's going to have to know other people who are interested in the class. So what is he going to do? He's going to pull out his phone and open the UPick app that he already uses every day to check his courses, register for campus events, register for organizations, so he can see what's going on at the dining halls. Pizzas or chicken, I don't know. But he's going to go on to the forum app and type in his request for a possibility of a real estate course. Once it's approved, it's deemed appropriate by the university, it's going to be sent out for a live forum feed where all the students can like, dislike, or even comment about his idea. Now let's fast forward a little bit in life, and all of a sudden Joe's post has grown. Over 100 students have gained interest in his idea, and the university is taking notice, and they're beginning to take extra plans on creating a real estate course on campus. And this is what we envision at UPick, an app that can centralize the student experience as well as creating a direct channel of feedback between the students and the university.
Well, as many of us in here are college students ourselves,
we can say that we don't have the same opportunity as Mr. Joe Randy does. But when we actually look into what's going on with upper level learning, we're seeing both decline, both enrollment rates and retention rates. This leads up to the 2026 cliff that not too many people know about, which is expecting a 15% loss in student enrollment amongst colleges across the U.S. It is time now for colleges to be able to keep their students. This big cliff we're going to see is mostly caused by one main issue, that being decreasing consumer confidence. That goes into two different ways. One, it's that students that are at universities right now are looking at what their administration is doing for them and saying, they're not doing enough for me, so why would I stay here? And then the next is, incoming high school freshmen are even are having more job opportunities and saying, what is a college degree worth now? Is it even worth me going 4 years for college and being in debt when I could just get a job that makes plenty of money right out of high school? So that takes into our solution. With the expected financial loss universities are about to take, at UPIC, we are planning to partner with an app developing firm to create a student engagement app that gives the universities the best way to let their students engage amongst themselves and along with university officials. With students questioning if they should go to college or not due to uncertainty, we believe the best way to attract and keep these students from this 200-year-old system colleges are using is allowing them to ensure their voices are heard in a modernized way.
Okay, so for target market at UPIC, we're targeting primarily four-year universities across the United States, of which there are approximately 2,254. The reason for that is because one of the primary values of our service that we're providing is that it increases student retention, and that's more crucial to these four-year universities than it would be at the 2 years. And then moving on to, in terms of our future markets, as our world in the United States becomes increasingly corporate, I think it's important, we at UPIC think it's important that we continue to develop this kind of idea of change coming from the bottom of the ladder and establishing this reciprocity between the underlings of an organization, students, whatever, and the governing body or the board or manager or just whatever, just establishing that communication between the two. And then as kind of a side anecdote to this slide as well, I think I can speak for myself and my group mates as well. We're a part of this market that's benefiting from this service. This is something that we want. I think any of us could tell say a name of multiple people or acquaintances that probably still be here getting that education, and the university would be, making money if they had this service, if they felt like their needs were catered to, that they had a voice, that they had this, ability to communicate with their university. It's something that we think is very important. Now, in terms of competition, particularly in recent years with COVID and advancements in kind of digital learning, there really is kind of this kind of upwards, growth in terms of this kind of educational engagement and enrichment platforms that structure different parts of higher education or high school or middle school or really whatever. And there are a lot of competitors. Some of the most notable are this app here, Kami. It's that's primarily for K through 8 that helps a lot with. It has these great deadline features and printing features and things like that are really accessible. Second one here is Aventus. So this third one here is Aventus, and that's this great calendar feature that allows multiple people to kind of interact and collaborate and kind of create events for themselves. It's more of a workplace thing. But while all these apps are great and moderately successful, I think each have been around for around 4 years. The key thing is that they're quite rigid for the most part, and they usually only do one thing, and they're focused on one aspect of higher learning. While at UPIC, we're trying to bring it all together in one place, into a structured platform that's accessible to use and that is effective, and that just looks to focus more on maybe also the human side, but just making sure that you're getting what you need out of your college experience. Maybe not just the diploma, but the relationships you make along the way, and anything that might entail with that. So, yeah.
So like we said,
UPIC's going to be able to centralize student experience and engagement and also give feedback to universities. We're going to be doing this by having direct relationships with our customers, the university, and students, and this will be mainly through our main, selling our product to the universities as well as the renewal fees that are going to be each year if universities want to keep this product. Also, we're looking into data collection and selling that data, as well as jumping into future markets such as businesses. And then our app cannot be completed without the help of our partners. So we're going to be partnering with app development and design teams that can give us that centralized app, integrates all campus information into one app. And then we're going to also need a team of marketing, sales, and IT team, customer support to help us as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how our path between the revenue and the costs determine our success and failure as a company. And then our app development. We actually met with Big Kitty Labs located here in Columbus, a software development and design team. They gave us rundown how much our app would cost. So the design, just make sure our user interfaces look pretty and attractive to customers. Our admin and API, that will be the control area between our database and the app itself. And then also the regular development of the app, and it would be around $70,000.
All right, so this is our pricing model. We have it separated into 3 different sections of student size, so small, medium, and large. And then you have initial base rate fees starting at $15,000 to $50,000 for the larger schools. Then you also have a per student price. So starting with small schools, it's going to be about $1, and then the more students you have, it goes down to around 60 cents. So this is our expected school sales and kind of our 5-year plan. So starting with year 1, we plan to start with 5 schools, like Owu, Denison, and Worcester. This is essentially the development and testing phase. So this is where we're kind of able to see how our app works, work out all the kinks before we go into year 2 through 5, which is going to be our expansionary side. So from there, we plan to get in year 5 a total of 550 small schools, 150 medium colleges, and then another 50 large colleges. And that is a 33% total of all the schools that we're looking at the 4-year colleges, which will bring in around $25 million in revenue. So this is kind of what it looks like. So again, in the first 2 years, that's kind of our testing phase. And then with our renewal model, we have yearly subscriptions. So once we get the deal with the school, we're able to charge, let's say, Ohio State, we have a $50,000 contract with them, they renew that every single year. So that's recurring income that will just stack up. So it's just a numbers game. So essentially, we just need to get as many schools as we can, and that number will start to continue. So this is kind of how it looks like. Right now, we don't necessarily have the entire team put together to make this all work. So on the left, you can kind of see what our team would look like to put this all together, including like the sales team to reach out to the schools, and then data analyst, which is going to help on the technical sides of everything, because we're not the most versed in that. So in year 2, we expect to break even. So just with those 30 schools in year 2, we're and $700,000 team that we put together. We think we can break even, and by year 3, we believe that we can be profitable. And then if you look at R&D, the original cost of the app and development will be around $100,000, and then about 15% of that is just fixing it as it goes. And then, as you can see, in year 5, which is 2027, we expect to have a $500,000 increase, and this is basically our expansion to our future markets. So what we can do once we get enough large size in the school market, now we have valuable data. So this data can be sold to other third-party companies, as well as we could go and apply this to the company sector So same model where you have a board and students, you have a company, and then workers under. So that same UPIC app can be applied in that, and then also working with businesses. So that's where we can see from this number going to a $100 million company using that data. So our exit strategy, we have two ways we think we could do it. So one of them would be an acquisition for Blackboard. They're currently a $700 million revenue company that holds the highest share of the education market of colleges and universities. So they're already integrated with our school. They're integrated with a lot of schools. And if they use our technology that we have, I think it would be a great fit, and we would just have to go within their current infrastructure. Second way would be an IPO, so that would be selling a portion of our company. So this is like we're remaining control of our business, and as I said, the expansionary part of it, we can go into our planned future and continue our vision. So we'll be seeking $600,000 for 15% of our company. This funding would go towards paying Big Kitty Labs, which we met with, and we figured around $100,000 to do it. And then also hiring a portion of the beginning team to make that happen. And then that's to build out the product and design for proof of concept at those 4 to 5 liberal arts colleges like Owen and Denison. And then just to recap some upsides of our business is that we're going to be very profitable very quick. We have a low cost of operations. And then once we get the sale, we have recurring money coming in, and it's less hands-off because once they have the app, it kind of works within their institution. So yeah. And that's what I did. And then question.
What is your funding strategy? 600,000.
So essentially, that money we need to first develop and test that. That is our main goal. Once we know that it works, we need to hire because we are not the best with like the IT. So we would hire a small team and also offer equity up because we still want to grow and not offer too much money with the funding. So essentially, with that, we would create the team around it, and then we'd be able to move into year 2, which we would get enough revenue to where we wouldn't really need funding.
I have a few questions.
Okay.
So under your budget, I noticed that none of your positions were listed in there under the salaries. So that, or am I wrong? But I didn't see like CEO, I didn't see, can you go back to your team slide? So I didn't see any of these roles in that projection. So I just want to make sure that I'm understanding that too when we're looking at your budget.
So for year 1, I think we're going to very like grassroots, and we're all just kind of be a jack of all trades and try to figure it out. I think the one key hire that we're going to need, and it was in my budget, we're going to try to spend around like $50,000 on a person and offering equity for a person that kind of understands that market a little bit better. But we're, in the beginning, we're going to be the sales guys. We're going to be going to those schools and trying to pitch it to them and sell it to them. So these are kind of like there just because they're there, but we're kind of going to be working as a team and figuring it out. And we become very profitable later on. So like those 2 years, like we do the grinding and then have salaries for ourselves or whatever. But like we're not really worried about that.
Yeah, that's good. Do you know how much it costs for a school to partner with Blackboard?
So it starts around I think it's $12,000, but I know on other sales they sell for $259,000 on bigger schools,
right?
With large students.
Yeah. So you're thinking like for a small school like Ohio Wesleyan, 15,000, right?
Plus the student fee.
Right. So plus the student fee, and then that's on top of their Blackboard. Because it sounded like some of the things Blackboard does, right?
So one thing that we thought about was either partnering with Blackboard or having an aspect on our app where it kind of goes into, because you're already logged in, use the same credentials log in, that you would just have that aspect on the app. So it would be, the interface would be shown there of Blackboard.
So my question for you guys would be, your target market would be the schools, the universities themselves. Well, I think I would like to hear a little bit more about what benefits are you actually offering the school versus the cost that you're charging them. It's a pretty high cost because you have your base fee plus the per student fee. It's a sizable purchase for a university. So what would be your selling point to them? Yes, I understand that it is to improve student engagement within the university, but the university also has to make a decision to buy this or partner with you from a financial standpoint. What is your selling point? Is it to increase my enrollment? Is it to increase student spending on campus? What is it?
So I'll go briefly. I think you have something. So essentially, let's say at a big school, $50,000 in context of that is about one student, you know? And for the cost of one student, you might be able to save, like that retention rate might increase and you keep multiple students. So the 2026 cliff is the mindset that retention rates are going down. I know the graduation rate at OWU is maybe not where it's supposed to be. If you have that feeling that students are contributing to a society, they are more inclined to stay within that society. So what we're offering to the school essentially is the ability to have a connection with their students. Also, surveys. I think we have a survey slide. If you want to go down to that. Yeah, so also we're providing valuable information to the schools. So I know I get an email probably once a week about school surveying something and nobody really responds and then it doesn't really get anywhere. When you have a base where the students start with the survey, they're creating it, or the talking point, they're a lot more interested about it. They'll comment, or upvote, and kind of there's more discussion based on what they want to talk about. Whereas the surveys, what the school is trying to figure out sometimes, and they're not actually listening to what the student would want.
So I think just a little bit more feedback on this. So I graduated from Ohio State University. I also worked with them in a partner capacity for a number of years. I also worked for Cleveland State University for 3 years. So I've been on the other side. I was your target market as far as making that, helping to make some of those decisions. Well, I think it doesn't seem like it, but some of those larger universities are state funded, so they are technically a government entity. So when you're trying to get someone like an organization like that to make a decision to purchase your product, it's a very long cycle to get that sale to happen because they have to actually put out a bid. You have to bid on that. But in order for them to actually carve this out in their budget and then to bid that out, there's a lot of education you're going to have to do. So a lot of that's going back to, proving how is your platform going to help with their retention rate? How is that going to help with at the end of the day, yes, they're a nonprofit university, state funded, but they're still, in a sense, making money. And with the retention rate, as you said, or less students are enrolling, that means their budget is going down. So they're cutting costs somewhere. So why should they carve out a piece of their budget to buy your product when they are financially having a small budget? So that's something to think about as you guys work on this.
It's one other area to think about. And I love the idea of giving students some control and some input. I would encourage you to maybe rethink the initial, decide a new class, because that process means hiring a faculty member. If it's only for 1 year that there's interest, that's a lot of investment on the front end for the university. And so again, going back to what Dan was saying, that's part of what the university is going to have to weigh of, we like this, but what is the domino that's going to fall in? And sometimes platforms like that can get very unwieldy. So there can be comments that are inappropriate or that just start driving things downward. So I think too, you'll want to think through some customer service being added in and whatnot, but Also, just one other thing, the cliff, I would challenge you a little bit on the cliff coming from the campus, because it's actually birth rate cliff. So just be careful with that, because that's like initial where people at a university are gonna say, well, wait a second. That's not exactly true, so just be careful with that.
Yes, and with that, like, obviously with, the option of, the possibility of, like, when back when there could be some harmful comments, everything like that, we talked through it with having some sort of moderation between, once someone sends it, someone's gonna look. It's not just gonna send and then go out to the sphere. So we're gonna look at that, and, and it's not gonna be, this is gonna be university help. University's gonna see it's not gonna be like an app, like the app where, you're free range. So that's good.
So question, it seems like I didn't see anything anyway. Is there a particular reason why you guys didn't consider having advertising? Is that for an additional revenue stream? So maybe partnering with a local business, Papa John's, right? You got college students out there after Wazoo, right? There's a dollar discount on pizza or special certain things or whatever. It's another revenue stream opportunity, and I'm just curious maybe why you guys didn't consider that.
We definitely did. This is one of the talks that we had. That was part of like our future revenue streams with like the data and having that set market. So let's say we do have that 30% market. We were talking about it for like Hamburger Inn, which is just in town. Like, okay, you come on Sundays, you get $2 off your meal, right? And then we were working with them. Hamburger Inn gets that traffic, and they can pay us for that. And we understand our market, and if we're able to do that, what kind of power we wield, and there's other revenue streams definitely in there.
All right, good work. The total success. Will kind of help and make sure
Fly through.
I'm gonna stand up and just big critical rebels.
That's. Abstract.
I'm just gonna from this one. And you know what? I enjoy that. I really do. Now, I honestly. That's the whole point of journalism. Somebody doesn't know that. Like 50 bucks a year. So
Always seems like. All right. Sticking with us? All right, well, first off, thank you guys for participating in this. Thanks for allowing me to be part of your whole lives and teach. As you guys well know, I'm not an academia necessary person. And being able to teach in a unique way, thank you to the university for allowing that. I think hopefully the feedback, so setting the stage, you guys feel a lot better about things. I mean, I know you guys are relieved now, but hopefully the style and putting this all together in these final presentations really helps wrap your minds around all the different business models, all the different things that you have to think about when building stuff. And as we talked, looking at how you build a high-growth startup, how you build a $100 million company, forcing your mind around those things. So another round of applause. You guys did a great job. It's a tough class to do things. And so, and I do a lot of it hands-off because the world does not have a syllabus. I don't have a syllabus. But as you guys saw, when you asked questions, there was answers. But you have to take the initiative and make those requests. The world is not going to give you a playbook. It is not going to always be fair. It is not always going to give you back what you put in. But generally speaking, it does. And if you take the initiative and take that action, that will get you a lot further. So I made sure I was always there for you guys with stuff. So you send out questions, you got answers back quick. I encourage you to continue to do the same with that. Whether corporate jobs or startups or whatever, is ask questions, be curious. Don't be afraid to talk to people. So reach out and get out of your comfort zone. So without further ado, we will kick it off. We have 3 prizes, so there's 4 companies. So with 3rd place, we have Gino. Do quick pictures. You guys come up here, take pictures with the check. Yeah.
I can take the picture if you want.
Oh, sure. I don't. Oh. Good. Congrats. All right. And second place in the Bishop Venture Pitch Competition, Drug Connect. Congrats. All right, this is the moment everybody's been waiting for. So, again, congrats. Thank you very much again to the judges for joining us tonight and providing all the feedback. We will get the score sheets and stuff to you guys so that you guys have feedback and everything and continue to embark on your adventures. So with first place and the winner of $5,000 in the Bishop Venture Competition, Campus Genie. Perfect. All right, well, thank you again. Thank you for taking the time, guys, to put through this. So I'm back off to Tampa. So nice thing is you don't have a final for me next week. So study for your other finals, get those out there. Always reach out if you need anything. And I'll be communicating with you guys through email the rest of the semester. Everybody have a wonderful Christmas holiday season. And we will see you all. Don't be a stranger. You guys know where to find me if I'm not traveling. Come on over to the Entrepreneurial Center and keep going on your journeys. Good job. Congrats. I'll give the checks back from you. Just make sure that. Yeah.